Hi, this is Pratim Ranjan Bose, and you are watching Podcast with Pratim. I have with me Mr. Nihar Nayak, Dr. Nihar Nayak, a researcher in IDSA in Delhi. IDSA, as you are aware, is a defense ministry think tank. We will discuss Nepal. Nihar, what's happening? We all saw dramatic meltdown in Nepal. There was KP Oli government issued some diktat to ban social media. They wanted social media sites to register with Nepal, apparently to censor content. That is what I understood. Quite an aspiration for a small country to take on the big data companies. And then this whole thing has come up. We have discussed in the last episode about the political failures in Nepal, about the number of prime ministers, the kings keep on changing, no growth for more than 2 decades, high inflation continuing, lack of, there is acute joblessness. This country lives on the remittance money. We all know these things.
Yes.
And we also know that these three top parties, the CPI, the UML, the Nepali Congress, and then this Prachanda's party MCC. So these three countries are practically have made it a joke. They are coming into power one in rounds because the coalition keeps changing. So over to you. Right at this moment, what's the state of affairs? We saw that KP Oli has left, their ministers even going, and I just saw a clip where the former Prime Minister Deuba is rescued by the army from a paddy field. Over to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Pratim sir, for having me here for such an important issue we are going to discuss on Nepal. As you asked this question, the state of affairs, I think it seems that the country is in completely, in a completely bad shape at this moment. The youths are on the street. A lot of public property has been damaged. The Prime Minister has resigned because it has been one of the major demands of the protesters. The demands were placed over social media, and earlier yesterday the Home Minister also resigned over since 19 students were killed by police firing. So the completely anarchy at this moment in Kathmandu, not only in Kathmandu, across the country. The Prime Minister has been resigned, but Deuba has been, as you said, that pointed out that he has been rescued by the secret forces because the Deuba has been the coalition partner of KP Sharma Oli for the last more than 1 year. And there have been several attempts, both inside the Nepali Congress Party, also inside the KP Sharma Oli party, to bring changes in the government, bring changes in the leadership, improve the governance system, address the corruption issues, but no action has been, it seems, taken from both the senior leaders of both the coalition partners. So there's a frustration within the Nepali Congress and also frustration within the UML also. And people, those who are inside the Nepali Congress, they blamed Deuba for not allowing this government to fall because they believe that Deuba is deliberately continued this alliance because he felt that the movement he would have withdrawn the support from the Oli, then there would have been some amount of investigation action against his wife, who was the foreign minister of Nepal a couple of hours before, Arjudeva Rana. So that fear was the major reason behind this Deuba sticking with Oli despite his inefficiency as a leader, as a administrator, as a prime minister, who have been continuing there for over 1 year. So that is the reason people targeted Deuba, that he supported this inefficient government over 1 year. So that's why this morning the protesters surrounded his residence. They targeted his son. Even they targeted his son's hotel, the Hilton Hotel, and that is in fire. So the public anger not only limit to only Dyoba and Oli, the anger has also extended to the third largest political party leader, Prachanda, who is heading the Maoist, the Communist Party of the Maoist Party of Nepal. And also there are reports about they have also targeted other political parties leaders also and their officers
Has
also.
there been attacks on Prachanda also?
Yes, his residence has been attacked, targeted by the protesters, and perhaps he might have been. I think he's also rescued by the security forces also. So it appears like that the public frustration mostly against all
Has there
those.
been any attack on the Madhesi parties?
No, not so far. It has not been reported because the
So it is on the top three parties
top three political parties,
who had been the stakeholder to power for
with
last many
power.
years.
And as you said that no, they have been basically engaging in the remaining in the power for the last 10 years. Like the rotational kind of no politics has been going on in Kathmandu since 2015 onwards, like whether Prachanda, whether Dyoba or Woli. So that's why public frustration is very high, and that is inside the political party, also outside with the commoners
I would
also.
just like to point out here to the audience that as per Nepalese constitution, once the election is done, so the next election will happen 5 years later. So even if a government, suppose the government doesn't have enough vote, so it will not fall, and another coalition emerges. So that is a catch. When they did the constitution, me and Nihar were aware of the debate. They said that this is the best way to ensure stability. To some extent, they were right. But what had come out is that these top three parties made it a rotational government. So they were just pulling the plug against each other and coming to power.
Yes, that's true. That's correct. That's the correct.
Over to you, Nihal. So, can you just briefly explain the corruption issues concerning all these people, starting from KP Oli, Deuba, and then Prachanda?
If you'll see, I'll start with the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister Oli, there have been a couple of corruption charges against him because there are reports that he was indulged in one tea garden issue in Ilam districts of Nepal. And also there are allegations about his involvement and the home ministers who were serving under him were indulged in basically the Bhutanese refugee scam issue also. That is, these are the allegations against Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli. There are also similar charges against, not directly against Deuba, but his wife Arju Deuba. She was also again framed in that Bhutanese refugees scam issue also. There are other allegations against her also. Even still the Prachanda, if you see, there are corruption charges against mismanagement of cantonment funds, which was given for basically maintenance of the former Maoist cadres during the peace process. So if you see these, apart from these direct charges against the top leaders, there are also, yes, Deuba, I'm coming to that. There is a wide body aircraft purchase scam also against former Prime Minister Sarbajo Deuba also. So if you see, none of these top leaders have been free from any kind of corruption charges. There are, indirect charges also against all these leaders. Apart from that, if you see the
Yeah, I'm just asking one question here. We know about Deuba and the family. So, is the families of what about the families of KP Oli and Prachanda? Are they also into this politics?
yes,
Okay, so they have created a dynastic feudal system between themselves.
I see. Look, so far, if you see Deuba, if it appears like that, Deuba has been trying to, Deuba is trying to basically make his wife Arju Deuba Rana as a basically next successor of no
The next
Sarbajo,
prime minister.
next prime minister. And there also, I'm not very sure about his son because his son is a businessman. Perhaps currently the focus is Arjudeva Rana. So in the next party convention, Deoba is trying to basically bring Arjudeva
So
Rana as a party general secretary or the vice president of that party.
where have
Similarly,
these people gone? I mean, have they flown out of the country or they are in the country?
no, they have not flown out of the country. I think they are somewhere, and I think they are given shelter in, I think, army cantonment area. So that is a safer place. And as you know, in Nepal, the army is one of the most respected institution in Nepal. And public, they don't generally target the army. They have high regards for the Nepali army. So generally, they will not target any kind of barracks or cantonment area in around in Kathmandu on nearby areas. So they
Okay.
are a separate place, perhaps, I think that way.
Okay. Yeah, that is a very interesting distinction of Nepal, that the army has never tried to capture the power,
Yes, that's absolutely correct.
which is otherwise quite endemic in this part of the world. The army gets a little more ambitious and power hungry, but not Nepalese army. So the failure, whatever it is belongs to the politicians.
Yes, exactly.
and
Absolutely.
the and the failure is abysmal. You cannot just keep on ruling and just creating rhetorics, and then your country is not growing. I think you told us that 50,000 people joined Wagner's private army, right?
Yes,
If I'm not wrong,
yes.
that's tremendous. Nihar, and now a little more serious question. I'm sorry for my throat. KP Oli was seen as China's man,
Okay.
right? And so this failure, this whole collapse of the government, the collapse of the target on the entire political class, the ruling class, let's put it, not political class, the powerful political class, those who were wielding the power between themselves. So what does it signify? And we also know that over the last couple of years, it has been a China story in Nepal. And we also know that the US has been trying to put its nose over there. I'm aware that the European countries have funded a lot in the name of some social development projects and etc. So what I'm trying to point at is that first of all, what does it mean in terms of Nepal and China?
Look, Dada, China has a very clear-cut policy. I mean, China always feel comfortable when there is a communist majority government in Kathmandu. And that has been very clear in the post-monarchical period. Till monarchy was one of the most trusted and reliable political institution for China because that is a authoritarian system. And China always prefer that kind of regime in its neighborhood. And in post-monarchy period, China preferred to basically engage with CPN UML, that which is headed by KP Sharma Oli. And in absence of KP Sharma Oli, I think China has to continue its kind of this political alliance, political partnership with this CPN UML, because Oli is out, but the party is not out. The party is very much intact because the CPN UML, if you see, structurally, organizationally, financially, and cadre-wise, one of the strongest party in Nepal politics. And one cannot ignore its presence in Nepali politics at this moment. Whether CPN UML, either it will be always remain number one party or number two party. That's the minimum performance of the CPN UML party in the Nepali Congress politics and Nepali politics. So China that way is in a very comfortable position because it has a very reliable political party to deal with Nepal issues.
My question is that whether they were practically running the country for some time.
Yeah.
So that being the case, this popular unrest or no confidence against the ruling class, what does it signify? Is it a setback also, or is it a alarm bell also for China?
No, I don't think so because it is not alarm bell for, because I'm saying, as I said, that if you see, the public anger is not against the CPN UML as a party. Public anger is against KP Sharma Oli and some of his I mean, close aides or advisors. So minus KP Sharma Oli, China, the
But
CPN.
you only said that they are angry with Oli, they are angry with Deuba, they are angry with Prachanda. People
Prachanda,
who
yes,
are sharing power
yes, exactly.
between themselves.
Yeah,
So that means they are targeting the entire political leadership.
they are targeting these three political leaders and not the entire political party system.
Okay, so there is no attack on, say, CPI-ML cadres or, say,
Yes,
Nepali Congress cadres, right?
yes, yes. There is no, basically, they don't target, they didn't target any, like second rung leaders of the Nepali Congress or Maoist or the CPN-UML. They targeted who were basically part of the KP Sharma Oli's cabinet. They targeted them this time and also the
Okay.
Prime Minister. So
Okay.
that way I am saying,
So this is quite distinctive. Many people are equating it with Bangladesh. No, in the case
no,
of Bangladesh, there has been kind of a it was a complete attack on post July. So it is like us and them kind of a situation, either us or them. So there has been, they banned Awami League, etc. There was attack on Awami League activists, supporters, or whosoever speaks even remotely for Awami League. It is continuing. But you are saying in Nepal, it is no confidence against the people, particular persons, the particular leaders who
yes,
were running the
absolutely.
show and inefficiently, or they were corrupt, and it is not a no confidence against the political system per se, right?
Exactly. Exactly, Dada. What I'm trying to see, if you see the Nepali, I mean, Indian media, they have been talking about, like comparing with the Bangladesh kind of situation. But see, the anarchy part in Nepal is very close to Bangladesh. But if you
Right.
conceptually see the entire origin of this protest movement, it has been taken from the Indonesian model, which has happened in previous month in Indonesia, that is called Generation Z. So the concept has been taken from the Indonesia, but anarchy part is in the Bangladesh. But in case of unlike Bangladesh, Nepal, the grievances of public is very genuine, and the target was very much only three political leaders and not exactly the political parties and their low rank cadres. So they wanted, if you see, they have been saying that the people have been demanding that they don't want continuation of these three leaders as the prime minister of that country. So that is very clear cut demand is there. And that is the reason the prime minister resigned. But in case of Bangladesh, like Hepajat Islam was there.
No, in case of Bangladesh, I'm telling you what the difference is.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong. What you were saying, in Nepal, there is a outburst of people.
Yeah.
There's an outburst against the people who had been right of playing hide and seek with them for so many years. Some
Yes.
people. So
Correct.
it is a very pinpointed thing against the political leadership, entire
Exactly.
spectrum of political leadership. I'll ask to the question, what happened in Bangladesh is different. Bangladesh, the grievances were genuine. There is no doubt about it. There was a 15-year-old government. So anti-establishment wave was genuine. But some people who were waiting on the sidelines to grab power, they orchestrated it and came and took the seat.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
there was a replacement ready for them. So
Yes.
now that takes me to the question that where we have seen the Bangladesh experiment, we have seen a Nobel laureate taking over. In fact, the second Nobel laureate to fail in this part of the world,
Yeah.
and both are Nobel Peace winners.
Yes.
And the failure of Suki was still different, but the Bangladesh one is abysmal.
And
But
both are from the same part of the South, I mean, Asian region only.
neighboring countries, neighboring
Neighbors.
economies. so but that would have been my next question, that what next? So if this is just a popular unrest,
Yes.
outburst, then there is no one who was waiting on the sidelines to take up the opportunity to ride the wave and grab the power. Do you think so?
Yes, Dada, if you'll see the entire trajectory, this entire protest trajectory of Nepal, which has been unfolding from the last 2 days, it has been a movement is not commanded by any particular leader. any particular party. It is basically commanded by certain social media managers. I mean, those managers' identity is not very clear, like, and it has
This
been
is a
taken.
new model that has come up. We are seeing from Bangladesh.
And in fact, there is a hashtag which was going on day for yesterday. It is called basically Hami Nepal. And the Hami Nepal guy who was running that hashtag, that person name is Sudhan Gurung. And the Sudhan Gurung also approached the Nepal police for undertaking this protest on 9th of September. So
Oh,
it
he
is,
sought permission. He sought permission. Police.
yeah. He approached the Nepal police for that also. So perhaps he was the guy, but again, he is not politically associated with any political party or any kind of ideology. Maybe he has taken up that concept from the Indonesia and is just brought out this, shared some clippings of this, how these elites of Nepal have been having their lifestyle, how their kids are living outside, studying outside, and how they have the lavish life in Kathmandu. So that kind of clippings were circulated by these groups, and that actually triggered for this, basically the protest on 9th of
And
September.
those who are not aware about Nepal, in fact, most of the countries around, if you are complaining about corruption in India, you should go and check out our neighbors, and particularly
Yeah.
Nepal and Bangladesh both, the lifestyle that their elites do enjoy.
Yeah, but I'm coming to the second part. Why this public frustration was there, youth hunger was there, which was basically picked up from this, basically banning those social media platforms. One political party, one leader actually took advantage of that, and they are very much sympathetic to that. That Kathmandu Mayor Balen Saha, he basically actually became a very popular leader, extended his support to that entire protest movement. And Rashtriya Swatantra Party leaders also extend their support to this youth protest yesterday also. So, giving this kind of public sympathy and support base in Kathmandu, I think tomorrow, even I got to know,
Rashtriya Swatantra Party has a Madeshi leadership, na?
Rashtriya Swatantra Party, no, it's not Madesh. Rashtriya Swatantra Party is headed by Ravi Lamichane.
Okay.
It is basically again a kind of a political party which formed against an anti-corruption movement.
Okay.
Basically. So that started in 2022 elections, So I think next, where people are now demanding, there are certain sections in the group, in the media, social media, and the Facebook, they are demanding that now Balen Saha should take over power in Kathmandu. So there are certain demands are being raised, being placed. So I think RSP
Is he a political face, Balan Saha?
yeah, well,
Known
Valencia is
political
a
face.
political face. He's a young leader. He's a
He
popular
was
leader.
he was with which party?
No, he doesn't have a party. He's a basically independent kind of guy.
Okay.
But he's a
Okay.
Kathmandu mayor, and he holds substantial amount of support base in the Kathmandu region.
So this is an upgrade from the Bangladesh model where some people were paratrooped into the government.
Yes.
Here, someone, a kind of semi-political face
But
with
again,
a
here again,
constituency.
in case of the Nepal case here, there is a constitution. The constitution, there is a president's position is there, and there is an emergency provision in the constitution. So in absence of when the prime minister has been resigned, the cabinet has been
The
now.
president can take over the power.
The president can take over, he can declare emergency, and he will be supported by Nepal army and rest of the state agencies. So that could be the procedure actually.
Okay. Last question, Nihar, and let's be short. So many these things are happening. The concerns are, or the questions are, we all know that, well, it sounds nice that people have revolted. That's a nice phrase. But unfortunately, this whole networking and this revolt is always, there is a political element, there is a organization behind it, right? So it cannot be spontaneous.
Yeah.
That is the understanding. And this is happening in many places. Okay. And let's focus on, say, Bangladesh and Nepal. Both we know there had been a lot of geopolitical play. Too many actors in both. I mean, at least three major actors are there in Nepal.
Yeah.
right? And it is Nepal's fault, actually. They found themselves in. So Bangladesh also had a similar geopolitical situation where there was a lot of factors or forces
Exactly.
at play. So the question is whether this is a spontaneous thing or whether there can be outside hand in it.
Okay. Yes, that's many people they ask this question. I believe that if you see 2 days protest movement, if you analyze the entire its origin to whatever happened until now, it appears like a very much spontaneous. It doesn't appear any kind of external forces or agencies support to this entire protest movement, and I don't see any role of deep state, Nepali deep state's involvement in the protest, like it a case of happened some extent in case of Bangladesh. But here is Nepal case. It's a genuine public grievances against 3 corrupt leaders, and that's why they wanted them to basically resign. And the public demand is very much, I think, genuine. This is very much spontaneous. Yes, the one major fault in this entire process is that there is nobody is there to command the entire protest. Since tomorrow the government or the president wants to negotiate or invite the protesters for the dialogue or negotiation, then who will represent these protesters? So that is a big question in the entire Nepal case. So that will lead to further chaos in Nepal politics in the upcoming days.
Okay, so this is a very interesting observation. First of all, it is a 2 days protest that brought down a government, right?
Yeah.
So 2 days protest can be spontaneous. 2, 3 days, 4 days can be spontaneous, in fact, up to a week. But when it goes on, then it cannot be a spontaneous, it has to be organized and orchestrated.
Exactly.
And second, you say even in Bangladesh, we saw suddenly some faces popped up from nowhere, but
Exactly.
there were faces.
Yeah.
But you were saying in the case of Nepal, there was no face.
Yeah.
Those who are aware that Nepal had undergone civil war for almost a decade, right?
Yes.
So, well, for that extent, Bangladesh also has a very disturbed past.
Yeah.
So that put together, there is a kind of, it may not be very abnormal that the whole country, and it's a small country actually. So, and basically this thing happened in Kathmandu, right? So, just to get, there had been many occasions on very smaller things that when Kathmandu went up in, did burst out. Okay. So it can happen. There can be a spontaneous thing. I mean, we have to wait and watch. But just one line, and Nihar, what you said that you expect that Nepal can plunge into more crisis, right?
Yes. Yes.
So if you can just rightly say what we should look out for over the next couple of weeks or months.
Sorry.
I say that what we should look out for. I mean, what would be the what kind of trends or what are your expectations that might happen over the next couple of weeks or months?
I think
What is your
first thing
expectation
that
from Nepal?
the president is going to declare emergency, and the army will be roped in the entire arrangement, and it will be backed by other senior bureaucrats of that country.
So you are
And then
expecting the next immediate task thing is that you are expecting president to declare an emergency.
yes.
And we are happy that the superstructure, unlike in Bangladesh where they broke everything, but
Yeah.
in Nepal the superstructure remains intact.
It's still there, and they may appeal for a kind of a negotiation, because Balen Saha and Rashtriya Swatantra Party leaders, they have been demanding the protesters to calm down and now don't damage the private property, public property. It is a country's property. So they have been appealing the youths to basically not to damage further, don't to burn any properties and all those things. So there is a feeling that now the almost the major demands are addressed. So better to calm down and go for a kind of think about the alternatives.
Okay. Thank you, Nihar. Thanks so much for joining
Thank
the
you.
show
Thank
at
you.
such a short
Thank you very
notice.
much.